Episode 7. It's dark. It's dark. No kidding. The darkest dark. What are we going to do, fretted Schlesi? We are going to pretend that we are dead. So what difference will that make? We'll still be alive and it will still be dark. Schlesi has his moments. He didn't, of course, know about pretend. When you pretend, I said, that you are dead, the dark pretends that it's light. And then we jump out of being pretend dead into pretend light and are out of here before the dark catches on. At this point, I wasn't sure I wasn't in fact dead. I was drowning in squid ink, viscous darkness. It's what we get for stealing all that gold, lamented Schlesi. Stealing? I was indignant. Don't you remember that I found it in the chemistry lab on top of the cabinet? It was full of Roman gold coins. I took them home in my school bag all week. Yeah, you told me after you made me hold the bag while you peed on that statue in the square. I almost fell over, it was so heavy. Well, sorry about that. I really had to pee. Statues always make me want to pee. Maybe one day you'll travel and pee on every statue in the world, said Schlesi. This was his budding sense of humor. But I thought, that's not a bad idea. I'll be rich and I'll go around the world peeing on statues. There are worse ways to spend your time, like going to school or having a police job like my stepfather. You can come with me if you want, Schlesi, I added generously. No, thank you, said my friend. What did you do with the gold? What should I tell him? I'd hid the coins in 3 places, but made some mistakes. First, I felt bad about taking it. And that was one mistake, my budding sense of guilt. And another was that I showed 1 coin to my stepfather's mother and asked her if I should return it where I found it, or give it to her for safekeeping, or maybe take it to the Bruckenthal Museum so they could put my name in the Bruckenthal Yearly Bulletin and I'd be famous forever. Noble causes all, if you'd notice. And she said she'd take it for safekeeping. And she put it in her skirt and swore to keep it there for me and not whisper a word to anyone. But she did. She told my stepfather, the policeman, who told her not to tell anyone and keep it hidden there until he interrogated me to find out if there were more coins where that came from. But why did the police come for the Rosenbergs? Asked Schlesi. That was my other mistake, see? I gave 1 gold coin to my classmate Esther. Why, in the name of Lenin and Stalin and Gergiev Dej, did you give a coin to Esther? I sighed. We both knew why. Esther showed the coin to her dad, a religious man and very pious, who slapped her and dragged her by her ponytail to our apartment to tell my stepfather where she got the coin, which is just what he needed to hear. He got the coin from Esther Rosenberg because Jews always have gold. He shouted that and then said, shh, to his mother, and she said, shh, back. I was already out the door by then in our hideout. It was Schlesi and I played chess every evening after supper. And then we saw the police come for the Rosenbergs and take them away in a black Volga, a Duba. And then they threw them all into the Black Sea, my stepfather told the neighbor. They shipped them to Israel. So the next thing I'm going to do after I find Nemo is go to Israel. Is that before or after you pee on every statue? The kid's sense of humor is growing by the second. And where did you hide the coins after all that? He was never happy with one story. I told you that already. No, you didn't. It's true, I didn't. A good many were in the toes of my stepfather's parade boots, which I was now very tired of walking in, which is what I told Schlesy in the dark. And the rest, he guessed, you hid it in this putrid grave where we will die because we never can go back now. I swear that he was crying. His tears were plopping in the dark. That is true, I said. This is where love gets you. The plop-plop stopped. Schlesy held his breath. I didn't say anything for a very long time, long enough to hear the blind reptile slither into the hollow and rattle its eggs, maybe wondering what happened to about a human handful of them since I'd eaten them for my caviar mojo. But does a lizard really count its hundreds of tiny black eggs? What's that? Crackled Schlesy. Schlesy was really scared this time. The lizard was still. What had I done? I was wearing the bad man's gold coin-filled boots. I had harmed the girl I loved. I'd eaten the lizard's black eggs. We couldn't go back. I didn't like the Swiss castle idea anymore. I didn't want to go to Israel and pee on statues. I didn't even want to escape. I wanted to die. But I felt sorry for Schlesy, whose plopping tears I heard again, mixing with the lizard's rattling and counting his eggs. Let's hide here for a while, I said, and then we'll go somewhere and change the gold coins into crypto. What? What's that? Said Schlesy. Another thing you made up to hurt Esther and me? That was mean, Schlesy. I'll never forgive you for saying that. I proceeded with a chilly explanation. Cryptocurrencies are like crypto Jews. How is that? Said Schlesy in a suddenly grown-up voice that predicted his eventual rise to be the head of the Federal Reserve in the USA when he emigrated a year later. But of course he knew nothing of his eventual fate, and neither did I. The crypto Jews went to Brazil, I said, where they pretended to be Christians by adding pork to the cholent, a dish they called feijoada. But they kept secretly lighting the candles at Shabbos. Don't we wish we had a Shabbos candle now, sighed Schlesy. We didn't. We were doomed to join the ghosts of dead nuns in the Ursuline convent walls forever and forever. I still had 3 matches, but before lighting one, 2 pinpoints of phosphorescent animal light pierced the darkness.